Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we are here to talk about the books I want to read in July. So, July is a very interesting month because most of the month I have vacation, but the funny part is that usually during vacation I don't read much. I usually read more during the working days than on weekends or during vacation, which is so strange, but that's just how it is. And so I'm on vacation most of the month, and so I don't know how much I'll get to read. I hope a lot, but it never works, so we will see. But I still want to talk about the books that are the priority TBR and that I really hope to get to this month, especially because pretty much all of them are from library, and so I do need to get to them. And yeah, I will try to keep it short because there is a lot of books, so let's get into it. To begin with, I will start with two books that I started in June but didn't finish, and so I will need to finish them first. First of them is Of Blood and Fire. I'm reading that on my Kindle, so can't show you the physical copy, but there. It is by Ryan Cahill, I believe, and it is a fantasy book. I'm now about 70% through. I think when the month started I was like 50%. So there is a bit of a progress, but yeah, I have 30% left in the book. It is the first book in the fantasy series. It is adult fantasy, and yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. A little less than expected. It started very strong and then it kind of dipped a little bit, but still enjoying it. So that is priority number one. It is also a book for Sasha's Howling Pack book club, but that was for June. So I'm a little bit behind. I think there's supposed to be a live show today, so I will not finish it by then. But I'm getting closer. I'm getting there, but I will not quite finish it. But that's okay. I will finish it later. Second book I'm bringing over from June is The House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. This was a buddy read with Sasha and on her Patreon Discord. And I have an audiobook of this one and I am currently about 15% through, so not that much, but it is a pretty quick read, so I'm confident I'll get through it pretty quickly once I get time for it. And this one is kind of like a gothic horror story, I think, kind of like a haunted house story. And I read one book by T. Kingfisher before and I quite enjoyed it, so I am up for the fun. So that's what I'm reading there. Third book I want to talk about is a book for my book club. This book was for months May and June, and the live show was actually yesterday, so I already finished it, but I only read it like this week, so that definitely counts for July. But I still want to point it out. It was How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates, and yeah, it is a non-fiction book focused on, yes, the solutions we have and the breakthroughs we need. And basically that's what the entire book focuses on. There is no better description of it. How I feel about this book: it is written for the people who have influence, not so much for the common people, even though it is nice to read it and to understand better how the organizations and how the money move around and how all of this works and how the governments come together to make change and things like this. But otherwise there was not that much for common people to get out of. That said, I did go in knowing a lot already because we read the climate book back in January and February for the book club, so we already had a pretty good background for all the facts about climate change, or wide variety of factors and everything about the climate change. So for me it wasn't that much like to learn because I already knew a lot of the things. So if you never read any book, any non-fiction book about climate change, this might teach you a lot. For me it wasn't that informative. I did learn a lot about the electricity grid and how energy is produced, but other than that there wasn't that much interesting things for me. But it was still interesting, and yeah, I will link down below the live show if you would like to check that out. So this one I already finished. And then I have a couple books. They're all from library that I want to get to. Some of them are for book club, some of them are not. And how this is going to work is, well, first of all, I will focus on the ones that I'm supposed to return throughout the month because I can't prolong anymore loan period. So I need to focus on those first, but also Cleo from Bemuse Bookworm has a readathon, or is hosting a readathon this month called Game Nightathon, I think. And there is a whole board. She explains it very well in her video. I will link the announcement down below so you can check it out if you want. It's never too late to join. And yeah, you just read books to collect points, and there will be a winner. And so you get prompts for each book you want to read, or like however you are proceeding through the board. It's inspired by a real board game. However you choose to proceed throughout the game, you get a prompt based on that. So I will see how I can fit these books for those prompts. Hopefully I can do that, and we'll see. I don't have a plan, I'll just wing it because it's just too stressful to come up with a plan. So I'm just reading what fits. Anyway, let's start with the book club's read. So first of all, we have Sasha's book club, The Howling Pack. For July, the book is The Wolf by Leo Carew, not sure how to pronounce it. This is first book in Under the Northern Sky series. It is an adult fantasy book. It is less than 500 pages, it's like 460 almost. And what it is about, I have no clue at all. A great war has come to the land under the northern sky. Beyond the Black River, among the forests and mountains of the north, lives an ancient race of people. Their lives are measured in centuries, not decades. They revel in wilderness and resilience, and they scorn wealth and comfort. By contrast, those in the south live in the moment, their lives more fleeting. They crave wealth and power, their ambition is limitless, and their cunning unmatched. When the armies of the south flood across the Black River, the fragile peace between the two races is shattered. On a lightning-struck battlefield, the two sides will fight for their people, for their land, for their very survival. Two sides, one victor. So it seems like a war fantasy, political fantasy. It doesn't give us any characters or anything, just basically north against south. The map reminds me a lot of, or must be, England or the Great Britain. It even is called Albion, which is the old name for England, right? Or for Great Britain, but definitely fits. And yeah, I'm just curious to see what this brings. Also, we have another buddy read for Sasha's Patreon, and the first book is, or the book for July is Eragon, which is the first book in, yes, The Inheritance, book 1. And this came out a long time ago. I remember in primary school, my friend was like talking about it non-stop, how much he loved it, and I still haven't gotten to it. I was intrigued by it already then, and I still haven't gotten to it, so I'm really excited to get to it now. It looks really tiny. It's pretty thick though. The pages are really thin, but also the text. There is not that much text on each page, so we'll see how that goes, because this book has like 750 pages, even though on Goodreads it says like 500. So this is gonna go fast, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm really excited. What is it about? I think it's about dragon riders. Oh yeah, and it's by Christopher Paolini, which is the Brazilian author. He wrote this, I think, when he was a teenager. So it's gonna be very interesting. I'm really excited to finally read this. But Eragon it is. Another book club I am participating in July, or I'm trying to, anyway, I will try to, is G's Patreon book club, and their July pick is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I know nothing about this book. I think it is kind of like a creepy gothic vibes. I don't know if it's YA, it's supposed to be maybe a fairy tale retelling. I actually have no clue. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, she is thrust into a world of shadow and deception. Together they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of Blunder from the dark magic infecting it. As the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. Sounds intriguing. I don't know if it's YA or not. Sounds like it a little bit, but it could be pretty good. Like I don't like this kind of like mind taking over, or like how the brain works. So this could be very interesting. And then for the very same book club, there are 2 other books that I haven't gotten to. So these are books for June and May that I have from library, but I never got to. So I definitely talked about this before in my previous TBRs. So one of them is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I still haven't, I didn't get to this one in June. I have no idea how, it just didn't happen. But it is a story about a pirate woman, I believe, who gets on yet another adventure. I think she retired at some point, and then there is some danger coming up, and then she goes back into the business or something like that. And it's apparently, like, the main character is about 40-year-old woman, which sounds really intriguing. It's set at sea. I'm excited. So I really, really hope I'll get to this one this month. And then in May we had When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. I still haven't read this either. And this is basically women rage book. So there is this one day people wake up and all these women start changing into dragons. And I think we follow the story, or we follow this girl, I think. I don't know how old she is, but she doesn't change into a dragon, but her mother and like all the women around her do. And I guess it's just gonna be her point of view about why she didn't change into a dragon and how the world changes because all of the women changed into dragons. So, sounds interesting. I really don't know what to expect from this, but people love it and I'm curious to try. Those are the book clubs, and then I have 2 more books that are not part of any book club or anything, and I just want to get to them. First of those 2, which is probably what I'm going to start right after I finish Of Blood and Fire, my next book, is a book I've been wanting to read since April, and I talk about it every single TBR I have, and it is A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. It is the 2nd book in the Wayfarer series. I absolutely loved the 1st book when I read it in April. It was, the 1st book is The Long Way to Small Angry Planet, and that one was a 5-star. Loved it. It's kind of like a cozy fantasy. Need to continue, so this is next book I'm reading. Honestly, I can't wait. And then another book is, I actually didn't hear people talk about this one at all, but I did find on NetGalley a book that really intrigued me, and so I bought it. I was like, ooh, it's set in Stockholm, that's amazing, I'm going to get it. So I got that book on NetGalley, and then I figured out it's actually 2nd in this series, so I needed to get the 1st one in the series. And the 1st one in the series is In Every Mirror She's Black by Lola Akinmaid Åkerström. Not sure how to pronounce the first 2 names. The last name is Swedish, so I know how to pronounce that. And it is basically a story of this group of women, black women in Stockholm, in Sweden, and how it is, how they feel. I don't know if there's anything. An arresting debut about 3 black women linked to the same influential white men as they build new lives in Stockholm. Successful marketing executive Kemi Ademi is lured from the US to Sweden by Jonny von Lundin, CEO of the nation's largest marketing firm, to help fix a PR fiasco involving a racially toned death campaign. A killer at work but a failure in love, Kimi's move is a last-ditch effort to reclaim her social life. A chance meeting with Jonny in business class en route to the US propels former model-turned-flight attendant Brittany Ray Johnson into a life of wealth, luxury and privilege, a life she's not sure she wants, as the object of his unhealthy obsession. And refugee Muna Sahid, who lost her entire family, finds a job cleaning the toilets at Jonny's office as she works to establish a residency in Sweden, and, more importantly, seeks connection and a place she can call home. Told through the perspectives of each of the 3 women in Every Mirror She's Black is a fast-paced, richly nuanced, contemporary social novel that explores the deepest depths of what it means to be a black woman navigating a white-dominated society. Super excited about this one. I love contemporary fiction, and it's set in Stockholm, in the city where I live. I'm really excited. So, that is all the books I plan to read this month. It is like 10 books. It's insane. So, we'll see how that will go across. It is a lot. Here is the stack. And it's crazy. But I'm really, really excited. I have vacation, so I might be able to get through some of them. Probably not all of them. but this is the stack I want to read. I think all of them sound really interesting and I'm super excited. So that's that for the TBR. What are you reading? If you would like to buddy read any of these, please let me know this month. If you would like to buddy read any of these this month, let me know. We could arrange that, I think. Even though I'll be on vacation, so I'll be limited by other activities, but I think that we could still try to figure it out. But otherwise, yeah. Let me know what you are reading this month if you're participating in Cleo's readathon and how that's going for you. And yeah, that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!